and welcome to the David Tomsic Show, fighting tyranny one day at a time. Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me again. Well, we're going to pick up where we left off on many of my videos. We're talking about fascism. It's a serious deal. We've seen it in the 20th century in basically Italy and Germany. And I believe we're seeing it right now. Now, a lot of folks who watch me don't believe that. A lot of folks who watch me may think he's bad, but maybe not to the extent that he's truly a fascist dictator. And of course, others know right out, yeah, this guy's fascist. Now, I'm not the only one ringing this bell. There are plenty of people ringing that warning bell across this nation and around the world. I've talked to some people that live in Germany for a while, and they believe that we're headed that way. Why? They have experience with it. So, to prove my point, I found an article here, and it's a Star Wars article. Remember Star Wars? It came out in 1977. Mark Hamill and lightsabers and all that stuff. It was fantastic. And I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I haven't followed all of them, because if you follow everything they've done, there's series, there's sub-series, there's animations, I lose track of the characters and the time frames. So forgive me, but I enjoy it. I enjoy those type of movies. And I remember going to see the 1977 premiere of Star Wars. Well, we're going to kind of compare Star Wars, the movie, and the plot with what's happening today in the United States. I found an article from the Tech Pencil. It's the first time I've ever seen this particular magazine. And it seemed to be pretty good here. The name of this article, What a Star Wars Rebellion Can Teach Us About Saving Democracy. Now, again, I don't see any author here, but the subtitle is Lessons from Andor, which I believe is a planet in Star Wars, in the Age of Trump. Now, I'm going to read this article, not in its entirety, because it's a long article. You can go to the Tech Pencil and find it, read it. It's about a 28-minute read. But I'm going to read what I believe is important right now, and then I'm going to have my commentary after. So please stay to the end to hear what I have to say about this. I do believe it's important. And by the way, while we're at it, please like, subscribe, and share our videos, and hit that bell icon. We'll be able to let you know when we release a new video. Here's the article. In the series Star Wars, now this is the animated series, I believe, The Clone Wars. Now this episode's called The Last One. This is season 2. On a distant planet, a funeral procession turns into an uprising. In the season finale of Star Wars, Andor, mourners of Ferrix gather to honor a fallen matriarch and end up in an open revolt against Imperial troops. A hologram of the deceased urges her people to fight the Empire, and one brave soul hurls a stone at the armored fascists. In seconds, the street erupts in chaos as ordinary citizens, fed up with the tyranny, charge headlong at soldiers. It's a galvanizing spectacle of spontaneous rebellion. But it also feels uncannily familiar here in the United States under President Donald Trump's second term. America's democratic institutions are under assault. And like the citizens of Ferrix, many Americans are awakening to the realization that defending freedom may require extraordinary acts of defiance and solidarity. The story of Andor's growing rebellion against the Galactic Empire carries urgent lessons for our own world, where democracy itself is at stake. It goes on to say, from spark to uprising, Andor's blueprint of resistance. Andor is a Star Wars series without lightsabers or Skywalkers. Instead, it's a gritty political thriller about how a resistance is born. Across 2 seasons, we witness a rebellion evolve through distant stages, from isolated acts of dissent to coordinated strikes of sabotage and ultimately to mass uprising. This trajectory holds practical insights into how real-world democratic movements can emerge and expand under authoritarian rule. The empire at home and democratic erosion under Trump. What makes Andor feel so timely is that its depiction of creeping fascism hits close to home. The empire solidifies its rule not just through Death Stars, but through subtler forms of domination. Bureaucratic tyranny, surveillance, suppression of dissent, and the slow strangling of rights. Here in the United States, under Donald Trump's resumed presidency, we recognize many of these symptoms. Democracy hasn't died in a single dramatic moment. It's being suffocated in a series of quiet, persistent abuses. Consider what has unfolded in Trump's second term. And it goes on, silencing dissent and weaponizing justice. Sound familiar, my friends? In Andor, citizens fear speaking out because they know they could vanish into a prison or worse. Americans today face a less dramatic but real version of that fear. According to Harvard political scientist Stephen Levitsky, the United States has already crossed the line into competitive authoritarianism, a hybrid regime where elections happen and a constitution exists, but in the practice, the ruling party tilts the playing field through systematic abuses of power. One hallmark of such system is the punishment of dissent. Critical voices, whether activists, journalists, academics, or even business leaders, are finding that opposing the government comes with consequences. In a true democracy, there should not be a risk or a cost to publicly opposing the government. Yet by 2025, it's pretty clear that there is no cost. One runs a credible risk of government retribution if one opposes the government. The Trump administration has wielded federal agencies like weapons against critics. The Department of Justice has been unleashed on political opponents, investigating and indicting perceived enemies on dubious grounds. In one brazen move, Trump even issued an executive order directing the DOJ to target specific individuals, former officials who had dared to criticize him, such as Miles Taylor, the ex-staffer who wrote a 2018 anonymous op-ed warning of Trump's danger, and Christopher Krebs, the cyber security chief fired in 2020 for debunking election fraud lies. This kind of personalized vengeance via state power is something the U.S. legal system was designed to prevent. Yet it's happening now in plain sight, creating a climate where people have to think twice about voicing dissent. This is the American parallel to the Emperor Palpatine's tightening grip, a slow extermination of the space for disagreement. I'm going to stop there. Right now, those of you that have not been affected by any executive orders Donald Trump signed, have not been affected by his Department of Justice attacking you, those of you that have not been affected by his health care cuts, by his attack on poor people, his attack on free speech, his attack on colleges and universities, his attack on Canada and Mexico and Europe and the rest of the world, those of you that have not been affected by this, consider yourselves lucky, because it will come your way. Fascism has crept into the United States. Undoubtedly, more and more Americans are finding out the hard way. Many people who voted for him, who believed and trusted him, are being betrayed by him. Not just one or two, but tens and thousands. He promised to just deport criminals first, those with records that they could definitely prove were criminals. But instead, they're just taking anybody. And there is no day in court like our Constitution requires. No, there's not. You're just deported. He uses lame excuses and says he has attorneys and we don't agree with them. We don't agree with the judges. Now, these judges have the authority under the Constitution to read in between the lines and say, we don't think this is constitutional. Many times it's flat out, this is not constitutional. But it doesn't matter because Donald Trump wants to take reins of power completely, as did Mussolini in Italy and Hitler in Germany. It comes by increments, people. It's step by step, then all at once. And we're already in the step-by-step process now. He's getting as much done now. He's destroying as much of the Constitution and the authority of the courts and the authority of the Congress as he can before the 2026 elections, where he may lose control of both houses. We don't know that. And of course, 2028 is not far down the road either. There has been many, many people who believed he wants to run for a third term. He claims maybe not. Who do you believe? Well, I don't believe Donald Trump because you can't believe anything he says. If he gets rid of enough power from the Congress and the courts, he can take his third term very easily. He can just declare himself president. He can eliminate elections if he wants. Or he can just rig them. Yeah, rig them, like he thought the 2020 elections were rigged, although they weren't. And that was just another lie he perpetrated. He perpetrated it to get his followers to try to get him back into power by force. Another way to look at this is that that's what fascists would do. That's what fascists did. In Germany, they did. They burned down the Reichstag. They blamed somebody else so Hitler can say, I can fix it. I can stop all this violence. And he did, by force. Similarly, Donald Trump's doing the same thing. He's blaming people for protesting. They're all criminals. They're all pro-Palestinian. They're all pro-terrorist people protesting what Israel's doing in the Middle East. He wants to eliminate protest. He wants to eliminate free speech. Again, compare this to the Star Wars saga. That's what Palpatine did. He took the empire piece by piece. That empire, the Star Wars saga, is about fascism. That was a fascist empire. Take a hard look. Go back and watch it, especially the later ones of how they took over, how they controlled the Senate, how they then disbanded the Senate, how they were able to manipulate the minds of their followers, how those followers who really believed them would do anything for them, even turn in their friends and neighbors. This is where America is headed. We must stop that now. We do it peacefully. We first go and take the 2026 elections from Trump. We oust every one of these fascists that have supported Donald Trump from the beginning. Then we go to 2028 and we find a candidate that's for the people. That might be a hard task, but we have to find somebody that's willing to stand for something. It's willing to stand for freedom, for equality, for the America we knew, for the America our founding fathers wanted to build. It's time to make a stand, people. You must make a stand. Now, I'm not talking to the people who were brainwashed, who've been indoctrinated into fascism, into this holy Trump regime where nothing he does is wrong. I'm talking to people who know and fear what's happening will destroy our country, will destroy our freedom, will destroy the lives of our children who will follow us. Join the revolution. Join the revolution now. We need to fight tyranny. No one else is going to do it for us. It's up to me and it's up to you. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos. Get more people involved. Talk to them. Talk to the ones who are reasonable. Understand that without conversation, we have a divided country. We have to begin to reach our hand out to say, hey, let's join together. It's all the time I have. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Hit that bell icon to get notified when we've released a new video. Don't forget to go over to our sister channel, Nights Around the Fire. I'll put a link in the description box to that channel. That's about mysteries, legends, and myths. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We just released a new video from Ashley on the Blue Origins flight. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Beyond that, be safe. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow right here on your favorite network for news, commentary, and analysis, The David Tomsic Show.